You must have seen the physical evidences on the crime scene when you approach the crime scene. Anything in any state of matter. When we talk about any state of matter, we are talking about solid, liquid or gas. You must have seen certain physical evidences which are solid, like firearm is there, tool is there, any weapon like that. And it can be liquid, maybe blood, maybe semen, maybe saliva, like this, or it may be in the gaseous form, maybe an odor of a perfume, or maybe smoke. It may be in any form, physical, biological or chemical. All the chemicals are taken as chemical form. All the biological material like blood, semen, saliva, plant material and others are taken at biological form. And physical, which we can touch, like weapons, which are encountered at the scene of crime or can link the crime with the criminal. So what you see on the crime scene, you see the physical evidences on the crime scene and you try to link those physical evidences on the crime scene with the criminal. And which principle of forensic science is this? This is Locard's principle of exchange. It means every contact leaves traces. Now see, these are the common types of physical evidences which are encountered at the crime scene. There are various classifications of the physical evidences. So first is the biological fluid category. Any type of blood, semen, saliva, urine, vaginal secretion, mucus, tears, sweat, feces, anywhere when they are encountered on the crime scene. They may be on the clothes, they may be on the victim's body, they may be on the criminal's body or anywhere else. So they are the biological fluid and most commonly found in murder cases or sexual assault cases. Impression evidences, fingerprints, footprints, footwear marks, tool marks, they are mostly found in the cases of theft, in the cases of burglary, maybe in the cases of murder as well. Like in cases of theft and burglary, blood is very rarely to be encountered. I will discuss the cases where blood can also be encountered if there is an injury to the burglar or the thief during this crime. So next is the caution document. A very wide variety of caution document. Maybe it can be electronic document like any email, it can be a suicidal note with handwritten, or it may be homicidal note, or it may be any signature crime. You know, signature crime, when a person leaves his identity in a way that still nobody will be able to identify him. So you must have watched many TV series like that. So these are the document part. Any printed matter, erased material, secret writing or secret envelope, pen drives, all this comes in caution documents. So caution document is a wide variety. And next is the trace evidences. They are found in minute traces. Means you may overlook them, you may oversight them if you will not be careful on the crime scene, like hair fiber, paint chips, soil dust, and they are as important as the other evidences. Let's say the soil on the footwear can identify an individual as like the DNA. Okay, so be aware of these trace evidences as well. Some hair can be used to extract the DNA and fiber can be used to establish the presence or absence of a person on the crime scene, so as the paint chips in the collision cases, vehicle collision cases, accident cases, etc. Then the chemicals. So chemicals have wide variety, not only alcohol or poisons, but also certain chemicals, medicines, drugs, explosive residue, or you may say cartridge case residue, bullet profile residue. All this comes in the chemical examination or chemical evidences. Next is the tools and the weapons. So there can be many types of tools which can be encountered on the crime scene. Now come to the source of the physical evidence. What is the major source of physical evidence? As you can see on the slide. So the first basic source of the physical evidence is crime scene. And as we know from the first session, the crime scene is a place where the evidences can be encountered. So any type of evidence can be encountered on the crime scene. Crime scene is the first source of the physical evidence. The second source of physical evidence is the victim itself. If the victim is present on the crime scene, obviously there will be many of the physical evidences which have been exchanged among the criminal and the victim. And the third physical evidence source is the suspect and his environment. Let's say if I have committed a crime and I went back to my home, so again the footwear marks or whatever I have taken from the crime scene may reach to my home as well. So in the suspect's environment and over the suspect as well, the evidences can be encountered. Now what we have to do, we need to look for the location of the physical evidences, and I told you crime scene are primary, secondary and tertiary crime scene. So we have to locate the evidences on the primary crime scene, secondary crime scene and tertiary crime scene as well. And it also depends upon the circumstances of the crime, that what is the circumstance of the crime there. Now what is the significance of physical evidence? There are many significances of physical evidence. You know, forensic science is all about analyzing the physical evidences itself. So we cannot rule out the significance of physical evidence. So first is to establish the corpus delicti. Corpus delicti, you know, the body of crime. The second thing is from the corpus delicti itself, that whether it is a genuine crime scene or fake crime scene, means actually the crime has been committed or not. The next is to link the suspect with the victim or the crime scene, that you know that how to link. After the analysis it will be linked. To establish the identity of the person involved in the crime, let's say you need to identify a person. So if his fingerprints are encountered on the crime scene, if his DNA is encountered, if his blood is encountered, if his shoe impression, footwear impression has been encountered, or any other such evidence have been encountered which establish the identity of the person, that can also be done through the physical evidences. Then forensic science is not only about to punish the guilty person, but also to eliminate the innocent, also to escape the innocent from the crime. So if somebody has been purposefully alleged in a crime scene and he is actually innocent, so he can also be eliminated by saying that he is not related to crime based on the physical evidences encountered on the crime scene. Then to prove or disprove the victim witness or testimony. Let's say if I am saying that I have never visited the crime scene, so what the forensic expert has to do? If my fingerprints are encountered there, it means I have visited the crime scene. Otherwise, how my fingerprints have reached? There can be other possibilities also, but it has also to be proven then how my fingerprints have reached to the crime scene. The other thing is, if the suspect has confronted the physical evidence, if you say that your fingerprints have been encountered on the crime scene, so many times in the court the suspect admits their guilt when they confront the evidence. If you will say that on a firearm your fingerprints are encountered, do you have something to say? So they will say yes, I did it. So this is also another significance of physical evidence. And of course, to establish the modus operandi, you know, mode of operation, way of crime. So by looking at the type of the evidences, the events of the evidences, we can easily find out that how the crime has been committed. That further we will discuss in the next session with the help of the examples, that how to establish the modus operandi. And next is to establish the number of people involved or present at the scene of crime. How many people were involved, how many people were present at the crime scene. How you will see this? Let's say you have 3 glasses encountered on the crime scene. Now my question to you is, how many people were there on the crime scene? So you probably say 3, you may say 2, you may say 1. One person can create the crime scene by 3 glasses, 2 persons can create the crime scene by 3 glasses, or there may be actually 3 persons. But once we will do the fingerprint analysis on all the 3 glasses and we found there were 3 different types of fingerprints, it means 3 different people were there. And if we found the same fingerprint on all the 3 glasses, it is a fake or a staged crime scene.